Gonna go live. We're gonna go live. Gonna go live. Okay, I think it says we're live, but who knows what that really means on the other side of the live stream or whatever kind of stream it is. The light looks pretty good here, doesn't it? And you got the sign back of me. Okay, now let's see if we get some people on YouTube. Where are you, YouTubers? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm actually doing something, a Periscope. I don't know, you ever use Periscope? That's sort of a different crowd of people. And a little stray, a lot of trolls on that. You know, they all want to, you know, just do weird stuff. And it's not very interesting right now for me, and that's, but I'm there anyway. You know, it's just trying to educate people, you know, and hopefully make a buck in the middle of this somehow. But how many want to start a business? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you want to start a business. I mean, I always wanted to my whole life. You know, I got an MBA and everything. And what's going on? Educate me. Okay. Yes. 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 Who's that? Margalia Briasca. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I will. Oh, Thomas Bell. Okay, great. Cynthia Brown. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, we got to vote. Yes. Now, you think that's a real stretch when I talk about prom dresses and starting a business, isn't it? Well, I mean, that's the way I see it, honest to God. I mean, I went through... yeah, I always wanted to start a business my whole life, you know. Since I was a little kid, you know, my dad was an entrepreneur, you know, but this is during the Second World War, you know. And his parents were immigrants. Me too, just don't know what I want to do. That's okay. It doesn't matter. But what I want to do is get some of the stuff out of your brain that I had to get out of my brain through failing businesses. I mean, I even had a software company back in the 70s that failed. Right, I got an MBA in computers back in the 70s when the computers were bigger than my kitchen here, you know. And I failed at that, you know. And I did it like everybody told me, you know, and I was going to these seminars and doing all this kind of stuff and whatever. And I was failing. Yeah, I mean, I would buy the power furniture, you know, to have a fancy looking office building. I have the sexy business cards and, you know, the LLCs and the power furniture in my office, you know, and the right, you know, board of directors and all this kind of stuff, you know. You know, filing all the paperwork, the government, and all this kind of stuff they tell me, you know, protecting my, you know, with copyrights and patents, and all this kind of stuff. Well, my first two businesses went belly up. It went, and they failed. Now, who won? The accountant I hired, the lawyer I hired, all these things that I hired that I was convinced I had to do because I was a smart guy. I have an MBA, you know. And then I said to myself, man, all that stuff is bullshit. You don't need any of that stuff. I failed anyway, right? It didn't matter. And actually, I realized that, you know, if I'm starting something more or less myself too, my time is the most important thing I have. How you spend your time is the most critical success thing to your business as anything. So what I would think about, okay, what is the most important thing that I can do with my time, okay? Okay, so, I mean, see, there's 1,000 things you could do. You could meet with designers, you know, for 85 hours designing the right, you know, ad or business card or whatever it is, man. But that doesn't mean anything. You have to find what I call, and I'm sure other people do it, the critical success factor of your business. What's the most critical thing for you and your business? And to me, I think it's the customer. Everything else is nonsense. You don't care. It doesn't matter. You do without it, you know? I mean, you don't need a patent. You don't need a copyright. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need power furniture. You don't need, you know, all this kind of stuff that the so-called experts are going to scare the hell out of you that you need it. And sure, there's a logical reason for it, but you don't need it. You don't need it. You're going to have a pot to pee in yet. You don't even have a customer, and you're doing this. That's why, to me, it's like prom dresses. See, all these people are so-called helping you to start a business are like people who are selling you a prom dress before you're invited to the prom. That's what that's like. See, which is stupid, right? Why buy a prom dress before you even get invited to the prom? So forget all that stuff. Even in my third business, I didn't even file with the government. Because I know it takes the government 3 years to find me. And I never lasted 3 years in the government, so I won't even be there. What the hell is that? Who cares? And the other thing is, if they do find you and you're still in business, so you pay a $50 fee. Big deal. But if you're going to spend a half a day doing that stuff, you should spend a half a day getting a customer. And see, particularly in the beginning of a business, you don't know what the hell really works. You think you do, and you spent lots of time thinking about it, but you really don't know until you go out and sell it to somebody. And it's not asking your friends or relatives or experts, particularly experts don't know because they'll charge you for their, for their advice. And they don't know bupkis, right? Experts don't know. Experts couldn't tell that Donald Trump was going to be president. Experts couldn't tell that the stock market is going to crash. All the best experts in the world. Nobody knows. See, and that's why, so you're going to trust experts in your business when you don't even know. The only expert in your business is your customer. That's the only advice you take. So you go out, the first thing you do, whether you find out as cheap as hell, whether it's doing a website for 20 cents, and pretending you have a product or whatever, or doing a crowdfunding campaign for nothing and say, look, I'm going to make this product. Or here's a product like this. I'm going to sell it. Would you buy it? I'll bring it back in about 3 months or something. You want to know who's going to put up the money. That's the only, I had a big research firm downtown Washington, D.C. for many years. I helped Fortune 500 companies. And we used to do a lot of market studies. Man, market studies even full of baloney. Because you can get anything you really want, kind of thing. The only market study that's valuable is not asking people, would they buy this? It's asking them for money. And then when they say no, then ask them why. That's the way you learn. Don't spend money on all these experts and stuff like that, because they're just a waste of time. It sounds logical, and I got to protect myself, from my idea. But shit, everybody's so lazy. Nobody's going to steal your idea until it's sellable. So you got to go find out sell it. Then you protect it. Hey, this is going to sell. Because there's ways to get around even protecting that. If you go to the Business Development Center, and in that, if you go to lesko.com/5free, that's a free download of the best 5 places to get free help and money to do anything. And one of them there is for starting a business. So they'll show you how to protect your idea like for $50. And you're good. And it's only for about a year or two, but that's long enough to see if there's any legs in this thing. Why spend thousands of dollars and lawyers and all this kind of nonsense, when you don't even have a customer yet, and that's silly. It sort of reminds me of when I was in college. I hated college. I hated studying and everything. And like a day before the exam or something, I would find anything to do except study for that exam. I'd be cleaning the oven. I didn't clean the oven in 10 years or probably my whole life. Ooh, that looks dirty. I should clean that. Anything to postpone the inevitable of having to study for that exam. And starting a business is the same. It's hard to try to get a customer. That's the hardest thing you're going to do. So why do all this? It's easy to spend money, but it's stupid, because you're spending money. And see, the thing is saying in business, having a successful business is not spending money, because you don't know what success means. You don't know how to get there. Nobody can tell you until you start going through all the processes. And spending money on lawyers and accountants and all that kind of stuff, that does nothing about the guarantee your success. That's a problem when you have a lot of money. When you have no money, don't worry about it. And just go out and find out what you can do as cheaply as possible to get a customer. That's it. And that's what the internet is so good. you could put up a store and put in, products like you want to sell, so that you start learning how to get customers like that, to build your own product and learn about that. You can even have, not develop a whole product, but like on crowdfunding, you can say, hey, I want to make this product, and you go out, and put it on a crowdfunding campaign for $0 and see what people say. If they don't give you money ahead of time, then, oh yeah, I got to rethink this thing. So that's before you, invested in lawyers, before you invested in office space or the fancy business cards or whatever. All you did was spend a few hours doing a crowdfunding campaign, and that's it. Now that's the real thing, because if people are giving you money, then hey, now you have the money, and now there's a market for it. That's why I think things like crowdfunding the internet are so much better than the old school of starting a business and getting venture capitalists and getting fat cats and things like that. Because these people, they're not your customers. So you're trying to figure out how to sell to some fat cat who has extra money and thinks that they could live off your success, and so you're trying to figure out how to sell to them, and then after you get their money, now you have to figure out if you can get a customer, But with crowdfunding, another thing, man, you're getting a twofer. The potential customers are giving you the money ahead of time, and that's what it is. No matter how you do it, though, just ignore all this other stuff that people want to, have you spend money on marketing, have you spend money on accountants, lawyers, and stuff like that. You could get free, if you really need accounting help or something, you don't know how to write off a business in your home or something, you just call the IRS. They'll tell you right over the phone. I got a video on my on YouTube that I called the IRS and asked them that question, and they just tell you right over the phone how to do it. You need help with something, whatever it is. You're worried about legal stuff. Well, you go to that business development center where you live. They get free legal help for that. Don't spend a couple $100 an hour on a lawyer when no money's coming in. And that's just terrible, I think. Well, let's just share your video. Okay, thank you for sharing my video. And that's why I think the biggest trap people fall into. There's all these experts on the internet who tell you what you need to start a business, and they're telling you what they need to grow their business, not what you really need to start your business. I mean, they make a case, and it sounds logical, and it may somewhere, sometime, sound right, but all you're doing is postponing the inevitable, and what you do first is get customers. Screw everything else, because anything else is important. I mean, it may... I remember, even this theory worked for me when I was doing home shopping. I made millions of dollars down there. I sold like 30,000 books in 2 or 3 days, and it was like live on TV, and I could see how the phones are going depending on what I say. And the only thing that was, after doing that hundreds and hundreds of times, the only thing that seemed to be that mattered to the success or failure was if the idea was of value, and my enthusiasm. That was the two things. Whether I had testimonials, whether I had this, whether I had that, whether I had 15 other things or whatever. I mean, that was plus or minus 5%, 10% if I was lucky or whatever. But it wasn't critical to success. That's what you had to find. And particularly, you only have so much time. As an entrepreneur, your time is the most important thing you have. And that's the most important thing you have in life. So that's why, to me, somebody who takes an hour of your time, I'd rather have them take my shitty car. That I could get another car. You can't get another hour of your life back. So that's what I think. People rob you more of your time than they do of your possessions, because that's just junk in your life. How you're doing your life is more important. And that's why, starting a business or learning how to create income yourself. And there's so many ways to do that now with platforms. I mean, you have a service or something like that you want to do. There's plenty of places online like Guru.com and Upwork and all these places. You have a business. You have a consulting business already there. Because what's nice about these platforms is they take care of getting customers, which is the most important thing. They take care of the accounting of your brand. They take care of getting paid. You don't have to worry about getting paid. You want to be a pet sitter or something in your house. People making 30, 40 grand of that. So now with these platforms for people with pet sitting, because this is a big growth industry. They don't want to take their dog to a kennel, and they rather have it, to a nice neighbor or something like that, and you make a couple $100 doing that, and it becomes good income, and that's just like part-time stuff around the side. Particularly like pets, man, that's great. So, but now these platforms take care of everything. See, you got an extra room to do that, or an empty garage to do that. See, there's so many ways to make money, and you don't have to worry about all this, bull that people say you have to, because somebody with a degree in bull will convince you. So remember, the only important thing in starting a business is a customer. Forget everything else. You'll figure it out. You're worried about accounting. No. You know how to keep a checkbook. Money comes in, money goes out. You have no more money, you're out of business. And that's simple. You give it an accountant, they're going to confuse the hell out of you. You won't even know what the hell to do. And you file with the IRS. You don't mess with the IRS. You do a Schedule C. You could call the IRS or go to the Business Development Center. They'll tell you how to do that, a Schedule C. And really, see, having your own business is the best tax advantage in the world. Because now you could write off part of your home. You could write off your personal jet, if you're rich enough to do that. That's why you think Donald Trump has a personal jet. No, it's a business jet. Every fat cat, no fat cat has a personal jet. They're all business jets. They write off as business expenses, and they use it for personal reasons, is really what it's at. Country clubs. Everybody belongs to a country club. I'd say 90% of them, and write it off as a business expense. That's why they could charge so much. Because it's not their own money. It's business money, and it's also pre-tax money. That's why if you have a business, you don't need that much money to live, because you're writing off part of your house, you're writing off part of your going out to dinner, you're writing off part of your activity, your travel, all this kind of stuff. That's pre-tax dollars, not after-tax dollars. Which is, and they'll never change that in the United States, because that's how the fat cats live, and they're the people who who make sure the laws work for them, right? And so you might as well get in the flow, it is what it's all about. So anybody have a question? I just wanted to get that off my chest, make sure people have a sense of that. I will also do I do a custom research and also help on the phone, like where can you go to get customers for free or pay for stuff that you really need to buy in business. You either go lesko.com/talk, where we could talk, and then actually after I talk, and that's like $1 a minute, and usually within 15 minutes or so, we could cover a lot of areas and handle your problem specifically, and then I send you links of where to go that I talked about. So you don't have to do the research, hey, what the hell are you saying, or whatever. So I give you links exactly where to get that help. And then also in research. So if you go lesko.com/research, and then you could order a report where I'll show you like 200 sources of money to start or expand a business in whatever city you are, because this is all local money. How do your glasses stay on if they aren't on your eyes? Yeah, I don't know. Actually what it is, I think, is because they're graduated glasses, and so to see the screen, I need I tip them a little, and also it's a little less reflection. I don't have a lot of I get these from China, real cheap. China, isn't that how Trump says China or something like that? Yeah. But that's so it's lesko.com/research or lesko.com/talk, or if you want the free report that shows you 5 of my best starting places for finding free help and money for anything you want to do in life, that's lesko.com/free 5, the number 5, and then FREE, all in small letters. So the number 5 and FREE, all in small letters. Any other questions that I'd be happy to try to answer before I take off? Oh, nah, you had enough of this windbag already, huh? Well, okay, you could also reach me at leskofreeradio@gmail.com. And if you don't hear from me in a day or two, I mean, it's just because I just do a lot of stuff, and I'm more or less a one-man band now in my life, so I get screwed up. Okay, you have a question? What is it, Barbara? I didn't see the name. Thanks so much, Mr. Matthew, not Mr. Lesko. Salvation Army no longer has the car program. You need to remove that from your... It depends. Salvation Army is different everywhere. So if you check in yours, and also then call 211 to find other things. Is there any way to eliminate student loans? Yes, there are programs for that, and they're not all entirely, but redo it. And in your student loans, don't respond to anybody on the internet, because all they're doing is get money for you for something you could do for free. You want personalfinance.gov, go to student loans, search student loans repayment or something like that, and they have a step-by-step. There's even an 800 number for the Department of Education. Okay, do you have any assistance running your channel, or do you... I do it on myself. I mean, the first time is a little hard to get over the bumps how to do it, and then it's mechanical. You just turn on the buttons again. I was able to repay my student loans with your help. Oh, thank you so much. See, I mean, that's why I feel I have nothing better to do, in my life. We just want to feel important. That's what we want to do for the rest of our lives, in a way. That's why I think retirement is dumb, And then if you don't feel important, you're not helping somebody else or somebody else in society. That's when you get old and cranky, and nobody wants to talk to you anymore because you're so cranky. You just want to change the world instead of fix it and help it. You think everybody's not good enough anymore. Any other question? Rosemary Wilson joined. Oh, Rosemary, the Dick Van Dyke Show, there was a Rosemary. See, I'm a real old guy. Whatever. Okay, well, I'm going to do these I've been trying to find money to start a business in a small town in Tennessee. How do you keep your time will manage? I don't. Just keep going. I mean, think about it every day. What you want to do? Start a business. It depends. I mean, see, I think, you go to your, if it's a small town, Department of Agriculture has a lot of money for that. But start with your elected official. And then also keep thinking of other ways. Because you don't get the money that you think you need, you have to be creative on how to do it without that money. And that's what I think is the most important thing. Either find a partner, find another way to collaborate with somebody else. And that's what I do a lot when on Lesko Talk, lesko.com/talk. I mean, in 10-15 minutes, I could show you 5 extra ways if you don't get your money where you thought you could get it or whatever, other ways of doing it. And that's the key to success. Not just having one way to do something. If that doesn't work, you go home. Pressure washing business. Wow, see, if you have the equipment, or you could rent it, you could borrow somebody else's, you just need a customer. See, and no matter where you are, I think, who buys more pressure washing business is the government. And they have to give X amount of their sales to small businesses. So if you go to your, just call your congressman, tell them you're looking for help to selling to the government. And there's people who get grants to help you for free how to sell to the government. Thank you for your help. Is there legal help to get work visa in the USA? There are nonprofit organizations to do that. What I would do is call 211 and you're looking for immigration issues, legal help with immigrations. I sign up for you 10 minutes of coaching. I hope to talk to you soon. Oh, great. Is that on Talk? Lesko Talk? Lesko.com/talk or whatever. Thank you for your work you do. Thank you. Well, that's nice to hear. I mean, that's why, see, to me, I enjoy doing this, and it's just great that it helps somebody. How do you sell custom-built computers to other businesses improving their tech? You bang on doors, man. You bang on 100 doors, and I think another thing like here. See, what's also neat. You could do videos or something on why they need this. So you do free information on why people need custom computers. That's going to improve their productivity. Are there programs out there for people needing their car repair? Some are, and it depends. What to do is contact the places I would contact your county government, at the not human resource, I forget, but at county government, you're looking for help, and also your elected official and 211. They're the three places I would start. Now, a lot of them, some of them have car programs, because it depends on where you live is really the bottom line. But in theory, a lot of places in the country have those programs, because people need a car in this country to earn income, to get to jobs and things like that. If you on YouTube, if you go to Big Data Lesko, I think if you put in free cars, you'll see my video I have on that. Is your target, you help with, I can't see really, thank you, I'll sign up for a couple of your programs, thank you. It's hard, they go by so quickly, I can't, how do you find available grants in your area? Yeah, see, I mean, that's what I do. I mean, it's look at that free report that I have, because that's the places I start. And then when I get those places, then that usually leads me, depending on what it is. If it's housing, I get about 100 programs where anybody lives. If it's money to live on, I get about 300. If it's business, I get about 200. Are there programs out there that don't, oops, I think something about income, I wasn't sure. Every program is different. So some may have income requirements, some don't have income requirements. Maybe the income is at $40,000 a year. Others are $100,000 a year. I was just doing some research for a client, in housing. And that's they had an income limitation. And the income limitation was $100,000 a year. Wow. So that's why don't worry about what you think it may or may not be. You go out and get the damn thing first. Find the program. Then worry about it. Because the hard thing is finding the program. And then every program has different requirements. So I could say, or anybody could say something about a program, and it could be right or it could be wrong. It just depends on the program. So that's why it's not worth even arguing, for those kinds of things. Anything else you got there? Okay, well, I'll be back, and stay tuned. I enjoy doing this, and talk to you soon, and don't forget everything. Oh, are you concerned that the massive cuts? No, nothing has been cut. They talk about cuts, but nothing's a cut. Love your videos. Just happened to. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, don't worry about what you see in the headlines and Trump's cutting everything. And the programs I'm talking about, they won't stop. And if it does, it's around the edges. And it may mean something 10 years from now, but you need something now, so don't worry about it. Oh, I think they're after me. That must be the White House after me. Where are you live next? I'll probably be here again. Should I do grants for college? Grants, yes, but don't get a loan. There's too many ways to get education and training for free nowadays. It takes work, and you won't have maybe this pedigree that everyone, I want to go to Harvard. Screw it. The name of the game now is skills. It's not pedigrees. And you need skills to survive in the future. Less than pedigree and a shitload of debt that you're going to carry around and ruin your life with. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate every nice word somebody says. I mean, that's food for me to keep going. Yeah, you can apply for the same information in the UK. I don't know. I don't know the programs over there, but I know they're better at the shared economy programs. Man, I'm following that a lot, and they're really ahead of us there. So like money for business and everything, cutting out these bureaucrats in the middle. Are there grants to start a real estate investment company? Yes, there's grants for real estate, and there's a whole bunch of government programs for that. So what you have to do is don't look for something. To me, is you find all the money programs. It's educating yourself about what's available. Then when you get the whole array of what's available, then you say, how can I best use what is out there to solve my goals by trying to say, hey, I need exactly that out there. It's sort of like saying, well, I want to marry a girl who's 5 feet 6.5 inches tall, weighs no more than 112 pounds, and all that. And then some midget's going to walk in the room and you're going to fall in love, and there's nothing you can do about it. So that's why it's the same way with money. That you have to find out what's all the options and how best to use the options available, instead of trying, I need this option, and you forcing it in. that's a frustrating way, because there'll be nothing that perfect. Read about you in the Clipper ship. Don't know that. Send me that if you have it. Was that recently? Clipper ship strategy. Don't know it. But that's nice. Somebody's talking about me. It's better than just ex-wives. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you again. Talk soon. And peace, ciao, whatever you do, just have fun. Because if you're having fun today, you don't have to worry about achieving your goal, because you're winning today.